Hello everybody. Today we're gonna be looking at our 3D printed contraptions today, and we're gonna compare them all, and then we're gonna plant some seeds. So yeah. Alright, so I have a few of these already lined up. This is the first generation we did. Well, technically, this is the model we used before. This is the classic one that I finished up last year. It works all right with some models, but because it fits perfectly flush with this. The problem I'm having with this is that different sizes don't fit right, and that's what we were trying to design out of this last time. See, even this one has difficulty because it's got a little bit bigger than what this with the jar cap twist thing on the twist on the jar is, and it just kind of like barely sits there. It rests there, that's fine, but I want something a little bit more secure. So we designed this, or rather 3 different versions. We designed one where it's just the square, basic, no cutout, the exact size of the Root Riot, and as you can see, there's a little bit of like a lip there, and we do have some like empty space here, but that's fine. I only printed one of them just to see if it would work. Our second version is kind of the same thing as the first, but instead it has holes in it, and it was so that way it wouldn't use as much plastic. But unfortunately, you can see all the stringing and stuff in there. You can get, come on, focus on me. You can see like all the stringing and stuff on there. Like, it's just like super bad, and that's because of the way it was printed. And so I knew that was probably going to happen, so that's when we got to our third iteration of this, which is a circle. It's a sphere. It's circular. It's a cylinder. And yeah, there's some stringing on there. You can kind of see it. Yeah, like right there, you can kind of see there's stringing right there. Yeah, you can see it better, like right here on an angle, you can see it. But it's not as much when you compare it to the first version, or the second. Okay, so we're gonna label this as original. Original, first, second, and third iteration. And so this one has less stringing. I even printed out a second one, and yeah, there is some stringing too with it, but it's not as, it doesn't seem as bad or as noticeable as this one. So as of right now, I think I'm gonna be using, it depends on the cup. So we've done some I've done some testing. I've done some testing before we came on the air, and I've noticed that this one, the circle one, version 3, fits some things better than this one, versions 1 and 2. So I'll show you. With versions 1 and 2, we have this sauce jar. Now, with this version, these versions 1 and 2 are basically the same dimensions. They are the same dimensions, except for the cutout hole at the bottom. So, in theory, these should be the same piece without the holes. And I can't get it in there because it's just too big. It's just too big for this jar. Now, on the other hand, version 3 sits perfectly in there. The only problem with version 3 is it's a little bit too loose. And it spreads out super wide. That's because the inside doesn't fit snug against it. And so I might want to dial that back, like maybe like what is this? What is this? We going for a real test here. Okay, so try and make it even. It's like 7-8 millimeters. So we'll dial it back. We'll increase the diameter. Not dial it back. We'll increase the diameter by like 3 millimeters for the next print. I might do that off camera because I don't want to deal with that right now, and I might deal with it while I'm at work tomorrow. So we're gonna try and figure that out tomorrow, I guess. But it fits the cube, or yeah, it fits the Root Riot peat moss material that we have, because it expands, and that's kind of half the reason why I want like these in halves, is so it expands. So that way the roots can figure out their way around this thing, and like you can see, like the roots can come out from the pot and it not be all confined in that one space. That's the whole point of me doing it in this system, so I can take it out, remove each side, and place it somewhere else if it gets too big. So yeah, and again, with other jars though, this is fine. It fits right in there. Heck, it's even a little bit big for what it's worth, because you can kind of see that it spreads apart. But it also fits that fine. So I don't think, if I'm going to use this design, I'm going to have to figure out what jars I'm going to use it with. Because it does work perfectly fine. What I want it to do, that's fine. And same thing with this jar. It works perfectly fine. The problem is with this one, it's even more apart than ever before. It's really out there. And I'm afraid that this will not be able to hold. Yeah, it's sinking it. Like you can see that this thing is just toppling over in there. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to hold it firmly. And that's the problem with trying to design for like multiple jars. Like this too. Same thing, same problem. It's eventually gonna, you can see right there that this is literally about to fall out of this design shell. So we're never gonna we're gonna try and never throw anything away that we'd used as a prototype, because in some way, shape, or form, it could help. Or I could just, again, this jar is perfectly fine with it. And I think it's fine. These fit a lot better in both jars. But again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Wait, is this the jar that can't fit? No, nope. That one's there. And that one's there. Alright, so yeah. So traditional, first, second, and third designs. We're gonna put some plants in them and see how they work out. Alright, so each one of these gets a little boop, boop. And this is the other reason. Okay, so you can kind of see it's sticking out of the model. This is why I wanted to redesign this original one, because it sticks out, and I don't want it to stick out. I want it to sit in the jar like this, where it's either flush or underneath. Same thing with this one. And you can see from the side that they're just there. And so that was the whole design. That was the whole thought about the redesign. Well, one of the many thoughts of the redesign that I am doing for this. So, I guess onto the seeds, I guess. We're gonna try and plant some, I don't know what kind of seeds we want to plant today. So we got several different seeds. We got mulberry, we got blueberry, we got blackberry, we got strawberry, we got raspberry, and we got apple. For some reason that doesn't fit the berry kind of like thing. So no apple right now. I don't think apples can do hydroponics. Can be raised hydroponically. That's a no-go. The rest of these berries. Alright, so first things first, we're going to open these up to accept the seeds. So I'm going to stick the scissor in, and we're going to try and make an X by pulling them apart. So that way the hole gets a little bit bigger. I'm using things that aren't made for... These aren't really made for seeds, but like clippings. So you can like clip the basil plant and then regrow the roots and stuff. But I found this as a cheaper alternative. For just, you know, it's supposed to be for seeds, but you know, it's not really designed for it because you can't fit anything in that small hole. Like, okay, let me grab one that isn't like you have to fit. Focus on me. Okay, focus on me. Come on. Like, alright. So, like, that hole is smaller than my pinky nail. Like, the chances of you actually... Wait, here's a bean. Now beans are like the biggest plants, and that can't even fit in there. Alright? Got me forcing it. So like, there's no chance in heck I'm gonna get regular seeds into there. So yeah, you need to like open it up manually with the scissor, which it did. And it might destroy it a bit, but that's why we have these containers things. So that way it keeps the shape of the pea. Not the pea, the peat moss. And it kind of like repairs itself once you wet it and stuff. And just keep it there, and then once the roots start to pull in, then it'll hold, the roots will hold the peat moss together. Alright, so I gotta figure out which berries we're doing. I feel like I want to do raspberry with one of them. So we're gonna try what needs the most roots. We're gonna try raspberry with this one. With 1 and 2 designs, number 1 and 2. There we go. We got a few seeds in there. Alright. That's good enough. I actually want to do some of this stuff. These seeds were given to me I bought these seeds a while ago. I kind of want... Oh, here we go. Yeah, these seeds are gonna be original. Here we go. We got a few of them in there. And so what I'm gonna do is, for the original one, you need to like put these rocks around it. So like you're gonna stuff it in there, put the rocks on top. So the light is the problem for most of the stuff during So the peat moss invites is constantly wet during this process. So things other than the seeds can grow. That's the problem. I'm also going to cover this one too. Actually, do I have enough water for these? We're gonna pour some water in. There we go. Also the rocks. Ooh, that might be too much. That might be too much. Ah. Okay, so too much. Because I'm not used to this yet. I'm not used to it being the right height for the container. I'm used to it being near the top like that one. So the thing the rocks do, besides blocking light so other things can't grow, it's for the exact reason of pouring water. If you pour the water on top of the seeds, sometimes the seeds wash away. And well, if you're hitting the rocks, it diffuses the water and makes it spread out, and so it doesn't hit the seeds exactly dead on, and it won't destroy them. Yes. Nope. All right. We might have to get more water eventually at some point, but not right now. All right. So these two are done. Okay, so we did raspberry on this one. Let's do, I guess, strawberry? Let's do a little bit of strawberry on this one. Our third generation seed. And get it in that hole that we made. Because the peat moss is nice and wet and surrounds the seeds, so they do a decent job. Woo! All right, there we go. Not as many, and then we'll put water in this later. So those are those three. So as of right now, we have our three bottles ready to go and just be filled up with water. One's already filled up, and we have two more that need to go. This one and this one still needs to be filled up. It's only about maybe like halfway. I can't really turn the bottle to show you, but yeah. And for the first few times you fill up the bottle, the peat moss, the material is going to come apart a bit. Don't worry about that. Just because it's going to be fine. Don't worry. Now we're going to move these seeds over. Move that up, move that out the way, because we're going to be doing some other stuff. So I also a few years ago, I 3D printed some Pokemon planters, and we're going to be using these as well. They're completely sealed. I used, well, the first coat under it, you can see the kind of white stuff is like, paint, like that clear paint stuff that you put on top of like spray paint. It was a clear spray paint cover protection layer, and it didn't work. So I then coated it with resin, and it's been sitting out to dry for a little while. It's been since Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure it's all done. Whatever it's gonna happen is gonna happen with it, and so we're gonna see. Okay, first off, I'm gonna pour all these rocks into the top, just to show you. Okay, wait. Just to show you why I created these covers, is so I don't have to use all the rocks that are supposed to be inside. So like normally you'd fill this up with rocks and clay and just have it sitting there on the top with all the rocks inside. that wastes a lot of water, or a lot of space for the water to be in. So you have to constantly keep on refilling it. Which is what's gonna happen for this one, because it's just a plain one. I don't have any filler for it yet, and so we're just gonna, like, see, this cup is close to being filled, like a little less than like a finger, like half of my middle finger. We got some rollers. And it's just so heavy because they're rocks. They're clay rocks. Now the reason you want to use clay instead of like normal rocks is because clay doesn't release anything into the environment. So like it won't release any pH balance or pH any chemicals really. It'll just stay as clay. And won't leach anything into the water supply that can affect the growing process. For this one, I kind of want to get like 2 of these guys in. Kind of wanted to shoot for... Can we do 3? Awesome. Might be a pain in the butt to figure out later. No, I kind of want... we need some more out of there. And this is the other problem with, like, this stuff. Like, instead of just knowing what the layering is, I have to, like, manually figure it out. Because I want rocks on... I want clay rocks on top of this as well. But without that measurement... Like, without that predetermined measurement, like, I don't know how this is gonna work. So I have to... It takes time away from you. There we go. So we got our 3 in there. Got my scissors. We're gonna open these holes up. Alright, and now we're gonna put those. We're gonna do scallions, because this is Executor. It's gonna have the palm leaves, but instead of palm leaves, we're gonna try for scallions. And we're probably gonna use this whole packet up. Just because this thing's been around for a minute or 2. Oh, cool. And you can see the seeds. And we're gonna try and plant them all. Oh, probably not all of them, because I just realized how many there are. This is probably way cheaper, because scallion seeds are probably way cheaper than... Oh, jeez. Try and get it into the holes, that way they're not in direct sunlight. That's a lot of them in that one. Yeah, try and get them deep into the holes. And then we'll do kind of like a handful of like rocks on top. There we go. Oh, you want to fill that hole in, I guess. Ah. There it is. There. So it's nice and protected from the sun. There. And so we have that done. We got that one done. We have some scallions left, so let's put that back in the box. Hopefully they grow. Like, again, some of these seeds are a few years old, so we might have some issues. I know the berries aren't. Berries are brand new, and so they're probably gonna work. Not gonna lie, that's probably where we're at. And see, if you can tell, my middle finger goes all the way in there now, instead of it just being like up to there. And so that's the problem with this. You use way too many rocks. Next, we're gonna do Claptrap. We got Claptrap here. Woo, I tried to paint him yellow with the resin, but it didn't work. It didn't work too well. So, yep, we got Claptrap there. Claptrap. Woo, Borderlands. I think we don't even need to, like, add any rocks before he touches the bottom. So, I was thinking Thai basil for him, but I might want to do the onions because they're a little bit more hardier than the Thai basil, and Thai basil usually grows pretty big. At least with the scallions, it might... Well, first off, I want to use them up because they've been here for about 1 or 2 years now, and so it might not be the best way... It might not be the best seeds to keep. And so we're just gonna, I guess, try and get rid of them. Woo. There we go. We have a few of them in there. Take them all around. I don't care at this point. And we gotta stick some on the sides so that way it doesn't move around too much. And again, we're going to put water in these later. The rocks are a bit wet because I just cleaned them. And hopefully this is enough for the the Claptrap one. All right. And our last one, Ivysaur. So for Ivysaur, I think we're gonna choose something. I think we're gonna try blueberries, maybe? I don't know. Wait, let's see. Let's see how deep it is. Oh, shoot. And this is the other thing, not for things specifically not designed for, like, this kind of stuff. think it... Yeah, it might just... It's like really hard to judge, like... It's hard to judge, like, how many, like, rocks to use. And, like, how well it's gonna be, like, put into, like, the thing. Because, like, right now... I gotta make sure the cube is secure. So that way I know the plant is secure. And there's a whole, like, method to the madness kind of thing going on here. There we go. And that should be good. Right now, I've got to figure out... I might cut this one in half, actually. Actually, I'm 90% sure I'm gonna cut this one in half. Just cause... Just cause it needs to have that covering of that rock on it. But also, it needs to have a shallow... It can't be too shallow on the bottom. It's like, it needs, like, to be in the center of, like... it not being buried. But it has to be buried enough for rocks to go on top. If that makes any sense. Like, it needs to have stuff on top of it so... Like, again, like mold and mildew and algae and other things don't grow on it. But it also needs to be... It can't be on the bottom because, well, A, the plant can't get up out of there. And B, it won't have... shoot. It won't have a reservoir if it hits the bottom because it'll die because it'll be soaked. It needs to be far enough off the bottom of the planter to have a pool of water underneath, and then also not high enough where the rocks, or low enough where the rocks can also sit on it. Or yeah. It's like this, it's a weird balancing act that you need to do when you don't have something specifically designed for it. Like... Alright, so I think... it's good right there. Alright, so we're gonna go for... not raspberries. We're gonna try blueberries in the... blueberries in the Ivysaur. Because it turns into a tree, and I think... know if that'll work though. You know what? I want to try some of these. The bok choy looking ones. Because I think that would actually look pretty good for an Ivysaur. Aesthetically wise. Ah! Alright, so we got some of these seeds in there. Massage that in. And that's fine. It's fine if they spread out a little bit. Here we go. And if I don't know what the sprouting rate of these are. And generally, if you have more seeds, like, in the same concentrated area, the more likely that they're going to sprout. So we're gonna try, okay, so we're doing that with them. And we're just gonna fill the rest up with these rocks. There we go. There we go. Alright. Ah! And so it's nicely... Oh! There we go. Well... There. So, there we go. That's all the plants I wanted to do today. So I'm just gonna fill it up. Fill them each up with some water. Bring it kind of like... I want to bring it like right up to... So if this was the... Come on, focus, you piece of garbage. Oh, has this been on... Stupid thing thinks it was on manual focus this entire time. Alright, so... No wonder I wasn't getting any good stuff. So, like, you want to fill it up to the point of, like, right here. That way, the peat moss can suck it in. It's like 1/4 of where it's supposed to be. So that way, the peat moss can suck in the water and keep your plants hydrated. And, well, that's kind of it for right now. So we got this giant, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 new plants that we're gonna start, or pots that we're gonna start, that we planted plants in. Hopefully, later down the road, you'll see tweets and other things saying, hey, these are working. But yeah, we might do this again. I do have one more original design here in the back that I didn't have enough, like, jars for. So we're gonna keep it open. And until next time, I had to put some water in these almost immediately because peat moss is going to dry out at a certain point. Actually, that reminds me, I gotta close this bag up. And so, yeah. So we gotta get these watered and put them in an appropriate spot with a little bit of light, just for the fact that the light's gonna introduce heat, which is also a determining factor of how well these things sprout. So you need heat and water for the first part of its life. Once it starts showing green, we can uncover them a little bit, but I like to encourage putting the rocks around them, at least, just so you can see the sprouts, but they're not being... You don't want the peat moss to grab a hold of any other things, because algae and other... basically any other thing that can grow in there will grow on the peat moss. And then it's fighting against the plant for nutrients and stealing everything. And it can also infect the plant, which really puts a downer on growing. But generally, once the plant's there, then we can add in our special antimicrobial, whatever. It helps with all the other stuff like algae and whatnot, and we'll figure that out later because it's a secret. The secret's hydrogen peroxide, by the way. Just a drop or two. But anyways, I've said too much. So have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Hope you guys like planting, and you guys, I'm gonna put this up on my Thingiverse account so you guys can print these. The Pokemon figurines, and the Claptrap, they're all on something in Thingiverse. You just gotta look up on Thingiverse. Executor. I really kind of like this one. You get to see all three well, there's like a bunch of faces on it, but I like the way it looks. It's got 3 of them, and it barely hangs on it, which is like, based on the design, I really like how it hangs on. Hopefully the scallions will come out and look really nice on it, like palm leaves. I'm trying to get that effect. The Ivysaur took forever to print, but it looks nice. But again, these designs are not my own. My only designs are in red. But I'll have these up on Thingiverse. Along with my original design. My version 1 is up there right now. But I'll put up the rest later. So have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, like I said, and enjoy planting and just doing what you love. All right, bye guys. I gotta get some water in these real soon. So, see you later.